Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well on this Thursday afternoon. I don't know why I forget what day it is every single time. I just don't know what day it is. Any day of the week, at any time anymore. Time is fake. Everything is an illusion. Reality is. But we're here anyway. So, yeah. So last time on Citizen Sleeper, we had Time is an Illusion. Last time on Citizen Sleeper, we went back to Dark Side, where we were betrayed by Seraphine's friend Marco and almost sold out. We met the bounty hunter lady last from Citizen Sleeper 1, who was apparently signed on with Utsubo to destroy it from the inside. She gave us a little, like, USB drive with a bunch of Utsubo's secrets on it or something like that we're supposed to take to some named like Hollandaise or something like that. I don't remember what their name was. Yeah, it was a lot of that. We were backed up by our best bud Junie. And then Lane tried to puppet sock us into being his own weird little dude. He busted our finger, and then our head ghost contacted us and was like, hey, we don't want this either, because we live in you now, and if you die, we die. So they cured our permanent glitch as an example of the fact that they could potentially reformat us, and they want to get outside of our body by going to somewhere. I don't know if we actually know what they need yet. I feel like they need to get back into a ship mind, because our brain isn't complex enough for what they need. But in order to get to the place that we want to go, Olivera down here, we need fuel. So I think let's go to the Hollow and try to scope it out there. Might be able to find some other opportunities. Yeah, let's go. Ooh. Well, at least now that's draining the glitch that we have. Oh, really? Thank you for that update. Please let me know if that persists. I've tweaked it a little bit. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, we need intuition in order to sketch a design for inspiration for a ship. You try to focus on the sketch, but your mind is on other things. You delete everything through. Delete your art. Hollow sketch. The more you look, the more complexity the hollow shows. Intriguing. Now that it's more ambient, it's not. Okay, cool. Yeah, just let me know if it continues. I'm having some audio issues on my end as well. The current fix that I have has me needing to reinstall my entire Bluetooth drivers. So I'm playing mostly deaf myself for the game. In order to not have anything pick up on my mic, because I can't put headphones on right now, or put my earbuds in. Yeah, it's enjoyable, but I need to, in order to reset my drivers with that, I'm gonna need to restart my computer, so I'm gonna film after stream. Because I think that'll just be easier to deal with. Now I'm just stretching for time while I pour myself. Okay. But, all the same, thank you for helping me with the audio balancing, everyone, and please let me know if there are any drownings. Spending all of my glitch dice on the safe tasks. Now, because at worst. The hollow core. The hollow, with its brass shape, scrap dealers, is intimidating to newcomers. But spend a little time here, you'll find your place. Explore the axis. While the shell is mostly housing and infrastructure, the hollow's axis is where traders, spacers, and scavengers dock. The locals bounce signals off the inside of the hollow shell, from pirate radio to shop adverts. Tuning in might teach you something. The chaos of signals is hard to understand at first, but with a bit of filtering, it is helpful. You are blasted with a cacophonous broadcast from a club. You'd better be more careful. Oh no. I blew my eardrums out. One time I went to that K-pop restaurant. Effing. Okay. A second. Almost free of glitch, thank you. Okay. There's a certain charm to the jingles, monologues, music that bounces around the inside of the hall. More. Come on. Unless... Well, it worked. I'm starving, but it worked. Data scan. Interpret signals. We can sell Solheim data. I'll sell the one leftover Solheim data. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything. But cryo, sure. Line arrays. In order to collect signals, the ship must interface with the Hollow's decaying Solheim arrays. This is a specialism. The signal ship gathers broad-spectrum signals from across the debris field. Storing them is too much work for just the crew. My fuel and scrap components here. Ooh, the processed scrap that I got earlier I can sell here. Hell yeah. Jid for 30 cryo a pop. Hell yeah. That's excellent. On the sunward pole. The signaling station in the pole is paying a small fee to anyone who helps seal up the damage sustained in a recent explosion. Conway aftermath. You heard that a drifting Conway munition may have been responsible for the damage to the pole. Is that just a rumor? Spend our bolts. Hey, you sketched the frame of the hollow with its diffuse reflectors. It lights the station in a soft, warm glow. Foundation by. Take stress from sleep. Bella's Shirazi salad has a sharp bite and freshness that is rarely found outside of the Belt's farming field. is Shiraz. I've heard that. Shirazi is a salad, a Persian salad, originated from Shiraz in southern Iran. Primary ingredients are cucumber, tomato, onion, olive oil, herbal spices, and verjuice, although lime juice is sometimes preparation. It's sort of like a salad. Or not salad, salsa. Salsa. It is a salad. It looks like a salsa. Work on the sunroom. You make good progress. The other volunteers are impressed. You get the feeling that they work with a sleeper. Sounds great if you're into it. It doesn't sound like my kind of thing personally, but it sounds like something that Scoop would really enjoy, I feel like. You get to work sealing up the layers of broken units. This explosion, whatever caused it, was huge. And now we're free of glitch for the first time in weeks. Real-time weeks. The worst of the damage has been repaired and the hollow's pole can start to be repopulated. What do you mean fried, Kimball? Our station depends on that array. The voices echo out from one of the sunward pole's cramped bays, tucked up in the ceiling of the hollow. I could eat nothing but cucumber salad for the rest of my life and be happy as long as the cilantro is omitted. That's fair. Though you are tired from a shift spent sealing leaks in this shattered section of the station, you still can't help but listen in. I have been patient, Kimball, but now, with the repairs almost done, you're telling me we can't broadcast anyway? The voice comes from a doorway nearby, and as you float past, you glance inside. You see a woman, facing away, addressing the back of a man half buried in the guts of some complex machine. I'm sorry, Kimball, he concludes, but that just feels malicious. The man, presumably Kimball, mumbles something in response, though you do not catch it through the wires and mechanisms that surround him. The woman quickly turns and spots you peering in through the doorway. She gives you a curious look. Oh? She quickly smiles. Hello. She closes the distance. I'm Cyrene. She offers a hand. I've seen you working on the repairs. She tilts her head. We appreciate your efforts. Happy to help. Cyrene looks over her shoulder at Kimball and then back to you. How do you feel? She pauses, calculating, about the war in the inner system. It's corporate cruelty. Couldn't have put it better myself. Did you know that Senatestat has already started shipbuilding at Cinza? Cyrene watches for your reaction. Cinza? One of the three sisters in orbit around Ember. She raises an eyebrow. You haven't left the belt, have you? You heard a grunt from Kimball, his head still buried in the machine's innards, and it is unclear if it is in reference to what was said, or is just the sound of repairs going poorly. We, Cyrene places a hand on her chest, are the Helian Dispatchers, the only pirate radio station in the Starward Belt. She lifts her chin proudly. We keep the system up to date on the shifts in the system's power structure and ongoing corporate war, all through the voices of the Helian system's own residents. Kimball grunts again, and a shower of sparks bursts from the machine behind Cyrene. Or at least we did before our transmitter got fried. Cyrene looks suddenly crestfallen. What happened? All that repair work you've been giving your time to? That was all caused by a Conway autonomous munition trained on our scent. Cyrene's eyes flash with anger. A mumble comes from Kimball as he pushes a handful of wiring out of his way. I do know that for sure, Kimball. Why else would it come so deep into the belt to hit the hollow at our broadcast site? Cyrene turns back, hands on hip. Kimball responds with a shrug. Either way, straight after that attack, we found our gear had been tampered with, sabotaged. Kimball grunts. Yes, Kimball, or just looted. Either way, we are now quiet, and when we are quiet, the war continues unobserved. Cyrene folds her arms and looks away, defeated. The crew is looking for work. I'm sure you are, same as any other crew in the belt, but trust me when I say that pirate radio does not pay. Cyrene sighs. Look, we need a new broadcast array. Better broadcast array. Cyrene glances over her shoulder. We don't quite have the reach we'd like. Where you get one, that's another problem. We're talking pre-collapse tech here. It's not something we can just build ourselves. Kimball mutters something from the depths of the machine. Yeah, Holmes Rock isn't a bad idea. Cyrene replies. It used to be a relay station for Solheim, so it stands to reason that they'd have arrays. And then there's the terminal there. Kimball's been bugging me to dig out some engine components for him to crack open and use in his repairs. God knows what kind of repairs he'd need those for, but that's what he says. Cyrene looks over her shoulder at Kimball, but receives no response. You both stare at his broad shoulders for a moment as a thin trail of smoke begins to emerge from the machine. Now, maybe we can do a little fundraising here on the Hollow. What we can get, we'll happily hand over. Cyrene shakes her head, but telling you now, it won't be a lot. Let's see what I can do. We'd appreciate it. Hell, the people of the Helion system would appreciate it. She glances over her shoulder. I think Kimball would appreciate it too. You leave Cyrene and Kimball to their repairs, making note of the engine components and wideband array that they will need to get back on the air. It's hard to tell if the job will be worth your time, but then again, someone as knowledgeable as Cyrene might be a useful asset. Well, thankfully, I've got 2 leftover engine components to fix your transmitter immediately. We'll be right back. Kimball needs components to repair the Helion Dispatch's transmitter and get Cyrene back on the air. Kimball has all the components he needs to repair the transmitter. Kimball wants a powerful array from Holmes Rock to extend the range of the Helion Dispatches to the entire belt. What is the best use of our time? There's Holmes Rock again. Shh. Do not. Ugh. 6. 14. Flotsam. Jump over to Holmes Rock from there. Have we been to the Greenbelt? I don't remember. I don't think we've been to anything down this way. Maybe we take the Greenbelt up through Helion Gate to... I don't think we've been to Seeded Asteroid. Doesn't sound familiar. Alright, let's intuit some signals. We need some cryo, and we need to spend these dice. You realize that many of these signals are ghost versions of the same transponder. The crew are impressed. You saved them a lot of work. Ooh, let's actually also get some of this Holmes Rock inspiration, ideally. Let's get that done before we leave. We've got plenty of time. We're really not in a hurry right now. Lane isn't chasing us anymore. That going. Keeps going. Oh, shit. God, I forgot to feed my cat. A monster. Yeah. Fill our fuel. Let's paint a pretty picture. The hollow is a glowing bauble cracked open and grid. Its reflective panels are what makes it distinct. Alright, we have hollow inspiration. Easy. Throw these dice away before we leave. Using an energy. Get a little bit of cryo in the interim. You separate out the errant signals from the potentially interesting one. You are paid well enough for what you identify. Or should I go to Oliveira and start that? No, because I'm going to need to come back to this anyway to install the emitter. Might as well go check out these other places first. El Depot basic supply. The arrival tower entry. Greenbank doesn't like visitors, and rising tensions in the belt have made it even less welcome. They won't let you in without a reason. The Greenbelt's locked down thanks to fears about Utsubo influence, but perhaps can convince them that you have a reason to head inside. You don't have permission to get inside the Greenbelt, but that won't stop you from putting together a fake pass or document asking. Yeah, I'll forge some documents, why not? You managed to glean a little of the look and language of Greenbelt's documentation. And we get 5 neutral outcomes. No! You try to log into the local network, but end up trapped in a loop of security systems. Waste of time. I think my favorite part of the new paint job is the funky little neon light that they put on. I like that weird neon light thing. Especially if you pause and think about how big that actually has to be. I think it's really interesting because I feel like that's one of the things that I always am surprised by when I think about it, like the size of what a traffic light actually is, because they are huge. God damn it. There we go. Oh no, I need one more. Oh no. Let's hop back to our shipping. A meal before we go bash our head against this one. Train lights, the ones that like, oh, like the signal switch ones. Yeah, I'm sure those are also fucking huge. I really want to know how big the, like, flash bulbs on, like, radio towers are that emit light to, like, prevent planes from flying into them. Those, like, low red pulsing ones. Yeah, I don't think signal switch is a particularly commonly used term. It would be if we had trains in this goddamn country. The security reluctantly wave you through. You have access to Greenbelt. Greenbelt buzzes with focused activity. Passages full at shift change, then empty once the work begins. It's a place that runs on its own schedule, but comfortably so. That comfort bought by being one of the largest food producers in the belt. They don't have to be that big, just lots of reflection. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, if you got like a bunch of mirrors to flash it out. There is always work in these fields, protected by a thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see why the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Sleeper? The voice, soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. As you turn, you are met with a delicate face wearing a confused expression. Apologies, I mistook you for someone else. She covers her embarrassment with a smile. I'm Aki. What brings you to Greenbelt, friend? Looking for work. Aki nods gently. Let me show you around. Aki leads you through a series of doors, gliding up and down the passages cut into the rock, then up, following pipes into the metal passages that cross the fields themselves. She stops on a bridge overlooking the soft curve of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's 2 biospheres. Below, leaves flap in 0G, waves spreading out across a sea of green. The varieties we farm here are specifically selected and customized for microgravity. She puts her hands on the railing edge at the edge of the bridge. We feed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow within. The light of Helion helps us with this, of course. Aki squints through the transparent roof at the distant, pale sun. Where are these plants from? Solheim left us many things, including a few seed vaults filled with their own engineered microgravity crops. She turns to face you. Then there are the stacks found across the belt. Self-contained microfarms. We've been able to propagate crops from them in some cases. But how about you? Aki's sharp eyes take in your expression. Could you contribute to such a place? A green and growing strip, gray belt. I'd like to. Aki smiles. Feel free to take a shift below anytime you wish. I will tell the others to expect it. The plants, they have a kind of peace, an eternal quality that makes them seem less fragile. Aki sighs. This place is like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is, for me, to navigate. He looks away, frowning into something in the distance. I must attend to those pressures. Excuse me. I am glad our paths cross. She bows a shallow bow. I hope they do again. And with that, Aki leaves you to look over the sea of gently waving green, an impossibly beautiful, impossibly fragile glass case, growing thing. You pick a spot on one of the green field's bridges, cloud floating leaves. Perfect place for sketching. So many leaves, so many patterns, all in delicate shades of green. Among the Greenbelt is a close-knit community. You'll have to prove your reliability before Aki will know. Greenbelt rewards its workers with food and board. Most seem happy to exchange their work for something. The farms are as much machine as plant, and those machines need the same careful tending. Time spent with the maintenance teams is always social, as is the meal. Cheap. Food on the Greenbelt is plentiful, fresh, which means most of the workers prefer to eat it raw to get the most from its flavor. Can't relate. There are very few raw vegetables, particularly. So I guess there's a bunch of fruit, though. I would go absolutely wild for fruit. Wow, these dice suck. Bummer. Let's throw them at the, operation. Focus on a single plant, capturing its simple but elegant forms and colors. That's a good way to exit a conversation. There are pressures. I must go. This place, they are for me to navigate. Just drifts away. This is dappled light in shades of yellow and green make Greenbelt a unique place in life. Now we rest. Sleep aboard the ship. A Miami dolphins strong in the face of this vast uncovering belt. Oh, dolphin. Should I keep working the form co-op? Should I keep working the form co-op? Might as well, since I've already rolled the dice anyway. You make some careful changes to the hydroponics. Shift goes quickly. Food is soon served. Take a look at what's going on. The farm shift goes quickly, and you feel yourself settling into the rhythm and the place with ease. Live. My chat widget lost connection and then came back. Nothing seems to go right all shift. While you eat at the end, it's still not enough to back your energy. Hear the slight murmur. Still live. One of the positives of Scoop working from home. The downside is the fact that she is unfortunately very ill. Please pray for my wife. She is dying. She has the consumption. Fuck up a farm shift. The shift is exhausted. Even after eating, you feel worn thin, but send Scoop to the seaside for her health. God, I wish, dude. I missed my calling as a grizzled sea captain. If we have to move Scoop out there for the consumption so that she can do writing, I can start my strange life as an odd fisherman. There's talk of trouble brewing in Greenbelt's administration. You have a natural ability with the plants. Aki's voice makes you look up from Aki's voice makes you look up from your work. It is rare. You expect Aki's typical warm smile, but she looks pale, distracted. I have something I want to discuss with you. She leads you out of the biome into the damp rock-cut tunnels that run just under the surface, all across the Greenbelt. Thank you, Bridge. That's very kind of you. I feel like I could be a good weird fisherman. I'm sure you've noticed the section of our fields that has been lying fallow. Aki says, she glides through the low tunnel. It's been like this since I took over as administrator here. My predecessor was the one to fail it, and confidence was lost in his vision. She shakes her head, but we have been unable to recover it. No matter the crop preparations, nothing will take. Aki leads you through a set of double doors and then up into the second biosphere. Immediately you feel a difference. The air is dry. Thin, choking dust fills the space. Aki puts out a hand and rubs the dust between her fingers. With its output halved, Greenbelt is a threat. She sighs. Those who wish to control this place are circling. We cannot lose our independence. But I wasn't always in the belt. Aki stares out at the dry landscape. I was born on a moon. Ember's step. Failed experiment in terraforming from before the collapse. I survived, cultivating the dust. I came here like many in the shadows of the war. My ship lost. Aki pauses. Takes a moment. Loss. Still fresh. Someone who loves a weird fishing game, you're doing well. Dredge? I need to spend more time with Dredge. I really enjoyed what I played with it, and then I had one really bad run of luck one evening where, like, I lost everything, and it frustrated me so much that I just put it down. Come back to it yet. It's a very cool game, though. But it held the key. Aki looks to you, and perhaps it holds it still. She wipes the dust from her fingers. Stepsill. Plant that thrives in the dry and the dust. Plant that might thrive here. I have seen your ship, and you have shown me that you are to be trusted. I want you to go to what remains of my own, the wind's long shadow. Try to recover anything we might do. A plant, a husk, a seed. Thing. A desperate step. She frowns and looks away. Where is the ship? The wind's long shadow lies wrecked beyond the sunward edge of the belt, beyond Helium Gate. Aki pauses. I do not know what remains. The crew and I were lucky to escape. Oh, the plot twist where you were the boat the whole time? I called that one from outset. Greenbelt has reserves of cryo for moments like these. We will pay you for the retrieval, of course, depending on what you are able to retrieve. Aki sighs. This is our final recourse. I hope I will not be judged as harshly as my predecessor. I can offer you fuel for the trip from our reserves. She bows slightly. The journey to Helium Gate and the wreck beyond will require. Come. Aki turns. Let us go back to where green things grow. He smiles. It is a better place to consider the future. And Aki leads you away from the barren biosphere, the doors scissoring shut behind you. Okay. Getting food up and running again is pretty like important, I think. Oh, before we leave, we honestly have anything to throw the 6 down on? Oh, we are full up. Feels bad to waste a 6, but got the secret ending first. I love it when that happens, honestly. I think it's always kind of great. $100 cryo per husk. That could be a lot. Aki, administrator of the Greenbelt, has asked for you to recover the remains of the steppe silk crop from the refugee ship she arrived at the belt. We are topped off on supplies. We are good. Oh, right, we have cadet now. Ooh, who do we bring here? Junie and cadet, I think. Yeah, do that. I forgot that cadet's on our ship now. I forgot that cadet moved in. The wind's long shadow floats, broken open at the sunward edge of the belt. One of the refugee ships that made the fraught journey out to the belt from the inner system before the war truly took hold, and the wind's long shadow is a monument now, and a warning to any other vessel that might stray sunward. This is the last ship out of Ember's Steppe. Junie looks out towards the wreck. See, it was beautiful. It is hard to imagine that this cold, dead place might hold some key to the future of a settlement as verdant as Greenbelt, but that is why you are here. Steppe silk husks. That's what Aki said. The crop she brought from her home, carried out with the refugees. If there's anything left, it'll be your job to continue its journey from this place. This is no salvage job, Sleeper. Seraphin gets up from his cockpit seat. We need to be delicate. The more of those things we can get out, the more Aki will pay. Not to be totally mercenary. Seraphin winks at you. You look out at the wreck, shrouded in debris. Delicate, right? Best. Well, Junie and Cadet's roles don't fill me with a ton of fucking confidence. That's got a 5 at least. Okay. Sector search. Sifting through the clouds of dust, sector by sector is the safest way to uncover any husks that might have survived. The dust house is full of dirt and shrapnel. Clearing it might unearth some husks. It might also destroy them. Digging through the remains of the old dust houses, I hope think survived this. The step silk husks in dust are easily exposed. One wrong move. Ugh. Oh boy. Systematically cutting open the base to find husks is safer and smarter, but slower than tearing. The split in the ship has revealed layers of bays and machines for processing step silk. Breaking them open might reveal forgotten husks. Finding step silk husks left behind in the processing bays will take care, patience, and a little luck. The bays are leaking atmosphere, and your search is making it worse. If they lose it all, any husks will be destroyed. There are a lot of containers to search. Scanning for organic material will help, but the debris is still an issue. The ship's vault is full of sealed containers that might hold a protected step silk husk. It's also full of dangerous debris. There has to be a container in the storage vault that has some step silk inside. The trick is finding it. Okay. Let's start at the most work from there. I will throw my 6s at this. Deep in the dust house remains, protected from the void, husks may be hiding. Dead husks and dry dirt make the search tedious, but progress is being made. Push this final one to get a guarantee. The search is complete. There's nothing else to find here. Alright, 1. Great. Process. Alright, roughly that's 5. By following the markings on the bays, it's possible to make selective cuts and search more efficiently. And then let's throw these shit ones in storage. Because there's no negative clock on this one, so anyone getting stressed is, I think, gonna be just them. But still get container hunt progress. Ooh, Junie. Unlucky. Are we gonna knock Junie out? Round 1. Boom. Bye. Fucking see ya. Junie does not handle stress well. Alright, you can sit this one out, Junie. Oh no, our last glitch! Damn it! I forgot we still had one. Fuck! Okay. Back over here. Engineering is my shit. Let's go. I will throw Cadets 5 over here. Nice. Identifying kinds of machines means figuring out which bays need to be broken open to find husks. Rough. Unlucky, that one. Okay. Then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna throw down my 1. This. Couple of stress, that's fine. Go back over here. Now I push 2 to get a 6 over here. I could have pushed the 1 and I still would have gotten a plus. I keep forgetting that. God damn. If I get a negative, will that only be depressurization? Probably. Oh, what an easy game. The search is complete. There's nothing else to find. Junie, see that you just win. Just win. Just win the coin flip. Duh. Right, we should be able to pull this last one out without too much. These dice are, how you say, dog shit, but still be able to. Oh, let's try. Yeah, I'll stress you then. Stress me out. I'll stress you out. I'll stress everyone out. Fuck off. Alright, just one more. Easy. Easy. That's an easy 300 cryo. The wreck wasn't dead before. Now, scoured of the final husks of life, it surely must be. As Seraphin starts up the drive, you give the wind's long shadow a final look in its resting place. It is hard to feel sad about another chunk of scrap orbiting in a system that is made of nothing but the scrap of past regimes. But the people who lived on and built this ship, those people are worth a moment of memory. You think of them, you prepare to leave, hope that they, like Aki, then carried on to new lives beyond the desperation of escape. And those that didn't get out, you hope you're passing through this place to not disturb them. Alright, back at Helion Gate. I think we need to still fuel. That's where we get cabbage. Let's get back to okay. Back to the belt. Back. Green belt. You bring the step silk husks you gathered from the wind's long shadow to Aki, and she is as pleased as you would expect. You meet her on the bridge overlooking the green fields, the greenbelt workers quietly toiling below, while the air recycler's wind gently rustles the leaves of the crops. Sleeper. Aki holds the husks to her chest. Thank you. These are a new beginning for us. Aki pauses, knitting her brow. How was she? The wind's long shadow. She must have been beautiful. Aki smiles. Truly was. She looks down. Though they killed her. Aki sighs and looks out at the greenbelt fields. Everyone must die in the end. The belt makes wrecks of us all. He looks back to you. But what have you brought me? This is new life. What you have brought me, this is new life. Give us time. We'll need to clear and reseed the other biosphere. Aki bows. Hope you will return when the work is done. He presses a handful of chits into your hand. Thank you. He meets your eye. You watch her carry the husks gently, glowing with promise of fresh growth. Hell yeah! That's gonna take you 6 days. We don't have time to just sit around. And you just paid me $300. So, let's go refill fuel terminals. The old relay recycling. Pulling a clean array from the Solheim relay is a tricky job, especially given the state of the facility. I love that engineering isn't a damn option for this. For real? For taking an array? The arrays and the relay are hooked up to the old terminals. Safely disengaging these will allow a clean extraction. Within the relay, there are multiple arrays that Kimball could use. You need to find and cut out the best one. And bummer. I guess let's try. The ruined terminals somehow still boot, which means you have to work carefully and systematically. Do a bunch of work, go back to the ship and eat an entire pack of food. 1, get this right. 2, feed the meat. 3, go throw these awful dice further into the final skin. Come on, dude. Oh, hell yeah, never mind. You wake to something soft and furry rubbing against your nose. You sit bolt upright. Stray kicks off from your bunk and settles on the ceiling, back curled up, looking down at you accusingly with those big eyes. Sorry. The stray gently pushes off the ceiling with a soft paw and descends to the edge of your bunk, where it hooks its front claws into the mattress pad. Seeing the cat move in 0G is still odd. It seems to come naturally to it, and yet its shape is so connected to gravity and weight in your mind. The cat should have the heavy, soft form of a mammal, not the liquid, languid presence of a floating thing in front of it. The stray uses its hooked claws to twist and spin itself, so it softly slides against you with its back, rubbing against your arm and purring. You know what it wants. Scratch behind it. Scratch behind the stray's pointed ears. The cat pushes its head back against your hand. The stray closes its eyes and purrs. It's funny to think how the stray got out here. Perhaps on a ship from the inner system, slipping on at the Eye or Sintra. And before that, its ancestors were perhaps carried out to Elian by Solheim executives who had the power and arrogance to bring a cat into space. But this cat, the one on your ship, was born here. That much is obvious. It is a creature of zero gravity, a being that orbits and glides, not one that leaps and stalks. It pats at your hand, encouraging you to continue petting. It is an animal that is a part of the crew now. Can't imagine the rig without her. As you look down at the stray, as nameless and inhuman as you are, the memory returns. The warmth of atmosphere-filtered sun, the weight of flesh and fur, the smell of growing things. You know what this memory couldn't be more obvious. It is a memory that crossed the gap of your creation, a memory from your mind that was copied, emulated, to make your own. It is part of you. This memory is, in the end, a mistake. Those who designed the sleepers never intended you to carry the memory, minds that were copied for your creation. They wanted you to emerge as new beings, offshoots from the branch of a human's life, be cut short when needed. But mistakes can so often become the most powerful and meaningful of emblems. They can guide a being more strongly than any success ever could.
That's because at the heart of every mistake is the possibility of change, of a shift in the status quo. You have lived a life of mistakes as much as a life of successes. And look where it has brought you. So you accept the memory. Let it wash over you like the sun. You focus on the stray, and as you do, both memories combine. You are stroking both cats, separated by time and space, feeling both sets of sensations in double exposure. This doubling is what defines you. You are multiple, branched, diverse. You make no apologies for this, and you know that you will only accumulate more selves, more variants, as you persist. You claim the mistake and the possibility it offers you. You settle in your birth, delaying the moment of waking, of greeting the cycle a little longer, sharing an unspoken solidarity with the stray that is more expansive than any words could capture. Hell yeah. And with that lovely little scene of cat bonding and the mistake of memory, I think we are going to take our midpoint 3-minute ad break in order to keep pre-roll ads turned the hell off. So take a break, grab a drink of water, use the restroom, do whatever you need to do, hang out and chat if you're a sub, or have a good ad blocker, and I will see y'all in 3 minutes when we continue. Ugh. Most cats is liquid. Yeah, for real. I must attend to the pressures of dinner. Have fun with the kitty. Thank you, Pegasus Bat Spider, if you can still see this. Really appreciate you coming out. Pebble! Oh no, you raided during the ad. Unlucky. I don't know how that works with raiders. Thank you, though. I very much appreciate the raid. I hope you had a good time with... I was lurking in another tab somewhere as you were playing your funky little caravan game. I hope you were having a good time as well. Welcome in, Trasher Quack Fox. Welcome in, any other of Pebble's lovely little audience. My name is Archaic Prospect. Stream Tuesday. God, I'm a mess. Hopefully anybody can even see this anyway. Yeah, I immediately went on an ad break the second you guys were coming in. It's so unlucky. But if folks can see this, I stream Wednesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 5 Pacific. I tend to do a lot of narrative games that I like to do voicing for, things of that nature. We're playing Citizen Sleeper right now, a sort of role-playing choose-your-own-adventure dice management game about the crushing poverty and inequality in space that you constantly strive to fight against. We just spent time dealing with the vestiges of our digital memory and petting a cat. Gross. I need to look up that caravan game you've been playing, Pebble. That looked like it would be a good time. The cat is the most important part. I was thrilled when we finally got that little bastard. Here we go. I think we are back. Delightful.
Hold, please, for 1 moment. You are finally free. Hello, welcome in, Pebble. Welcome in, Pebble viewers. Very much appreciated. You managed to raid me exactly when I started the ad. The mercy about having a black cat is that they're always dressed up as every other black cat at all times. The executive producer is already the stray. I guess I could put a bandage on his elbow. I think he would hate it. But yes, welcome in. Thank you for the raid so much, Pebble. I appreciate it. I appreciate you bringing your crowd over here. Thank you very much. Anybody who's around, I'm going to give my little spiel again real quick, and then we'll get back to it. I stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 5 Pacific time. I like doing a lot of narrative games primarily because I like reading things aloud because I'm a theater kid at heart. Doing all the voices and things like that. We are playing Citizen Sleeper 2 right now, a game about living through the crushing poverty of space and making and carving a new life out here as a sort of quasi-legal digital mechanical life form. But yeah, right now we are working on trying to get a new radio antenna to help a pirate radio station resume broadcasting. So let's get on back to that. An array has been extracted. Now you just need to get it back to Kimball in the hollow. To be honest, our games are on similar themes, yeah. It seemed kind of like there was a non-zero amount of overlap from what little I've been able to catch of your caravanning, the desert thingy that you keep blanking on what it's called. Caravan sandwich. That was it, yeah. Can't really do anything with these dice for the most part. So let's. Oh god, supplies are so expensive here. Holy hell. Let's leave. Let's leave. Let's buy fuel and leave. Lieber doesn't have a frying pan though, yet. Fill the ship. Beautiful. Love to see it. I'm gonna buy a meal as well. Then go. Right, we can't. There's no way that we can get to Wellspring while they're still having a workers' revolution. I wonder how much time passed in travel. Is this done? Oh, none. Well, unlucky. Anyway, that's true. Sleeper and Citizen Sleeper 1 did cook quite a bit. Okay, fill the fuel again. Nah, god damn. I am so bad at navigating this. Back to the hollow, then we're gonna head on back down to Oliver so that we can deal with hopefully getting a weird transponder in and fucking up Utsubo. We provided the array. Kimball just needs to get it running. You wait in the makeshift Helion Dispatch's studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back behind the far wall. It's a humble setup. A stool for Cyrene, a microphone, a transmitter and mixer terminal, and the hard line snaking away towards the array. But there's something pleasing about it all the same. The crackling sound of fresh welds echoes through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope the array you struggled to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here! Good! Cyrene rushes in, holding a small dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what we have here. She looks around the bay. Where's Kimball? Installing the array. You mean Cyrene smiles. We're going back on the air? Before you can answer, she leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Cyrene lets you go. Sorry. She smiles, just excited to finally be back. Kimball! She shouts towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay. Cyrene takes a steadying breath. You have a little time. What have you got there? This broadcast is from Erlin's Eye. Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard anything out of them since the start of the war. Some people have even said they've fallen to the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. This report says some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can't get close. Zenitstat is giving it a wide berth. They're right in the middle of the war. Conway on the Starward side, Zenitstat on the Sunward, and they're resisting. Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive on her hand. Either way, people need to know. There's a sudden clunk, a few percussive shouts from Kimball, and then a flickering of lights all across the bay as the transmitter and array begin powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the Helion Dispatch's studio comes to life, ready to broadcast once more. Not bad. Cyrene leans on your shoulder. Not bad at all. A shout comes from Kimball, and you know he is calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal. She grins. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyrene produces a handful of chips. Turns out we have some avid listeners in the radius markets. She deposits them into your hands. All right. Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a smile. Thank you. I will make sure we make good use of that array. This will mean something. Kimball bellows something from the back of the room, something you only can assume is a thank you. You leave the belt's most unusual double act to their broadcast, and as you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing through the bay. This is Cyrene Sabir back on the air to wish you all a free Helion now and forever. All right, I think we should make our engineering a supreme focus. So I am going to take a +2 engineering. 4 that we have now. Now, get 400 right. Oh, nice. Now I think we head to Oliveira. You find Oliveira exactly where Ankita said it would be. A ragged colony nestled in a crater on one of the biggest rocks of the shoals. Hell yeah, free press, pirate radio for life! Seraphin gets no response to his initial broadcasts, so you find yourself in a docking tunnel, the rig at one end, the colony at the other, with no idea what awaits you. I need you to get back on that ship and keep flying. You freeze in the dark tunnel, a figure in front of you holding a long gun at their hip. I'm serious. You see your eyes adjust to the dark, and as they do, you see a man. No, a boy, carrying a long, dark shape in his hands. I don't know how you found us, but you need to leave right now and forget this place. I sure did not do the right voice for this character. You glance over your shoulder and see Seraphin, his hands raised in front of him in a gesture of calm. Look, kid, we mean no harm. How about you go run and get someone? I am someone. I'm Xander. He sticks out his jaw. It's you I don't know. And I'll decide who's gonna do some harm here. He reaches across his chest and thumbs on a lamp he has lashed there. You blink in the glare of the bright light, shielding your eyes. You do, you see a flicker of confusion crossing Xander's face. He meets your eye with a look of shock and opens his mouth as if to speak, though no words emerge. We have something for Carmen. You notice the familiar name registered with Xander, adding to whatever confusion or question your appearance has provoked. You see his eyes taking in your sleeper body, his gun dropping a little as he takes his attention off it. Is this... He looks between you and Seraphin. Are you here for Flint? He pulls the gun closer to himself. I'll be honest, kid. We have no idea what you're talking about. Seraphin allows himself to drift a little forward. So how about you
Drop the gun, and we can talk like adults.
As Seraphin floats past you, he gives you a look that makes you nervous.
Let's all stay calm.
Xander? The voice echoes along the docking bridge. Xander, what are you doing? A figure appears at the end of the bridge behind Xander, a young woman clearly older than the boy in front of you. Found these two trying to sneak in, Candace. Xander keeps his eyes on you as Seraphin, and you and Seraphin as he speaks. Saboteurs, maybe? I was about to send them on their way. Xander grins.
I assure you, not saboteurs, miss.
Candace sighs and glides towards Xander. Stop messing around with that welder. She snatches the gun out of Xander's hands, and as she does, both you and Seraphin reflexively flinch. Candace looks at the two of you with a raised eyebrow and turns the gun so you can see it better. You notice the fuel tank and welding muzzle. Probably has an effective range of less than half a foot. Seraphin looks at Xander and rolls his eyes.
Seriously?
Candace lowers the welder to her side and turns to Xander. Now's the time. Now's not the time. We just got an emergency broadcast from Carmen and Flint. Something's happened. Xander's attitude changes immediately. He turns to face Candace, putting his back to you as if you had just disappeared completely.
What do you mean something's happened?
I don't know. They went quiet in the shoals. All we got was a distress signal. Candace raises her hands reassuringly. Don't get excited. They probably just had a technical fault on the ship. But we should check in anyway.
We have to get them.
Xander grabs the welder and slings it over his shoulder. In what, Xander? Candace sighs. They took our only functioning ship. The tender tide's still in pieces in the hangar. Seraphin gives you a nudge and a nod towards Candace and Xander. This is your chance. We have a ship. Xander wheels around in the tunnel, squinting at you in thought. Seraphin moves past you, approaching them.
We need to see Carmen. It seems like Carmen needs our help.
He looks between the two of them.
So, how about we stop messing around in this dingy tunnel and go get your friend?
Xander turns back to Candace.
Them? Really?
He rolls his eyes.
We're not the only people on Olivera. There must be other ships.
You want to go looking? They're here now. Candace looks at Seraphin. And they're generously offering to help. She smiles sheepishly. Fine. Xander folds his arm.
But I'm coming with you.
Yes. Seraphin shakes his head and looks at you. Come on, then. You both turn and head back into the ship, Seraphin whispering as you do.
And a backwater has Ankita sent us to.
He sighs.
Kid thinks he's some kind of sheriff. Let's just find Carmen.
Seraphin nods.
Agreed.
What are we talking about? Xander catches up with you and Seraphin. His mood seems buoyed by the prospect of boarding a ship. You wonder how often he gets to leave Olivera.
Olivera?
Oh, you haven't seen the half of it. Xander winks. Wait up! You turn to see Candace gliding up the tunnel. I changed my mind. I'm coming too. Give me a minute to grab some supplies. He glances at Xander. Just in case. Seraphin cuts in.
I'll give you a hand.
All right, sleeper.
Sec.
He looks at you. You pause, but Seraphin doesn't seem to be waiting for confirmation as he and Candace head back into the dock. You are slightly thrown off by his eagerness to be helpful. This is the first time you've actually seen him be welcoming to anyone coming on board the rig. When you get to the cockpit, you notice Xander looking wide-eyed at the consoles and switches. Cool ship! He grins. After a short while, Candace and Seraphin come back into the cockpit.
All loaded up.
Seraphin pats Xander on the shoulder.
I want to strap in there, kid.
Xander and Candace find a place to settle. That, as Seraphin buckles himself into the flight seat.
All right.
He turns to Xander.
Show us where to go.
This can only go well. This kid is a mess. You head out into the shoals, the thick debris field that surrounds Olivera. What's happening in here, sleeper? Bliss pokes their head into the cockpit as Seraphin brings the ship in towards the signal coordinates Xander gave him. You look around the cockpit. Xander is tapping at the co-pilot console mounted in front of his seat in a haphazard way, while Candace is asking Seraphin about how the rig works. Surprisingly, Seraphin is responding with patience and care.
To help us find Carmen.
If you say so. Bliss looks over at Seraphin and Candace. Is Seraphin smiling? They shake their head. Something's going on. Yeah, Seraphin wants to get laid, obviously. Bliss turns back to you.
Junie is working on the ship's wiring and won't respond to my messages. She's probably in the walls somewhere, hooked up to the main line.
They smile a weak smile.
I'm here. So, how about you tell me what we are doing out in the middle of nowhere?
Quiet! Seraphin's voice cuts through the chatter.
Is that?
He gestures out into the debris field at a sparking, ragged-looking shape tucked beside a rock. Xander rushes to the cockpit glass.
Carmen!
A moment of tense silence grips the room.
That's a ship!
You and Bliss exchange concerned glances. This isn't good.
I'll bring her in.
Seraphin's eyes are fixed on the wreck of the crumpled ship now.
Don't know anything yet, so everyone calm down.
Xander is silent, his face pressed against the glass. Candace stares out at the wreck, her cheeks pale. No one speaks until the rig is brought to a stop.
All right. Now, we are going out there and we'll have a poke around.
Seraphin looks between Candace and Xander.
Verify the ship,
recover the crew. Seraphin gives you and Bliss a nod as you both push off and glide towards the back of the cockpit. Suddenly, Xander pushes off from the window and glides with you out of the cockpit.
I'm coming too. You need someone to identify the ship,
He stops and takes a breath. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Xander gets the words out and then pushes on ahead towards the airlock. You follow behind, ready to suit up and investigate the wreck. I'm honestly surprised he has skills. I half expected him not to have any ability. If you want to have any hope of recovering Carmen and Flint, dead or alive, you'll need to start at the wreck and work your way out. The simplest way to find out what happened is a full search of the gutted ship, but that's no easy task when part of it has been blasted to debris. A crippled ship, holes torn in its hull, and a missing crew. Some thought and careful assessment, perhaps this wreck tells a story. On closer inspection, it seems that the ship's drive is totally burnt out. The ship was running from something. Yeah, good dice rolls for once. The search reveals railgun slugs embedded in the interior of the ship. Who did this? Xander has as much stress tolerance as Junie. That is to say, not much. Search turns up cargo, crates of supplies blasted open. Were they carrying food? Marks on the ship's hull are surrounded by dark streaks. This is no accident. It's weapons fire. The damage to the ship is chilling. It's hard to concentrate on the task at hand. You have a sense of what happened here. It's time for a difficult conversation. In the search of Carmen's gutted ship has impacted the mood in the rig. As more and more evidence of an attack has appeared, the quieter Xander has got, and more Candace has retreated into the bunks. Now, with the search complete, you are gathered in the cockpit to discuss what has been found.
Come on!
Candace floats by the door, hugging herself against the cold.
Tell us already.
Xander is perched on the back of one of the seats, flicking at some hinged container he found in the rack. Open and closed, open and closed.
Explain bluntly. You tell them how it is. The ship was attacked with live weapons fire. They attempted to flee and burnt out the drive. The ship slammed into the debris field and came to rest here, crumpled and crushed. There are no bodies. At the mention of the word bodies, a shudder runs through those assembled. Then they're here, somewhere. Xander has a steely look in his eyes, and we find them, whatever state they are in. He looks at Candace. She nods back at him. Xander's right. We aren't leaving them out here. Carmen made Oliveira what it is. He saved us. We won't come back without him. She shivers and looks at Xander. He would do the same for us. Based on the damn ship, Seraphin begins. They're almost certainly dead. We get it. Xander cuts him off. But there are debris trails leading away from the ship. I've seen them. There are. Seraphin holds his hands out in a calming manner. Those could be from secondary explosions or depressurizations. Pick the wrong trail, lead us in circles, cycle after cycle. Then we better pick the right one! Candace has Xander's steely look now, too. She stares directly at Seraphin, challenging him to answer back. He sighs. That's what we'll do. He looks at you with resignation. Whatever happened here, you won't be leaving until you see its end. Ooh boy. We only have a 1 right now, so... One of the possible trails. It's impossible to know which is the right one without exploring further. There's only so much you can see from scans. Sometimes you have to explore the debris and pick up its trail from the patterns. Scanning and mapping the debris from the ship will help you safely figure out where it might lead, but it's painstaking work. Okay, these are all. I'm not going to spend a 1 on anything. Not in the situation we're in right now. Why am I still getting a glitch? Did I have a glitch again? Was not paying attention. Wow, Xander, you fucking beefed it, dude. Let's start with the Starward Trail. Oh boy, Bliss, you're not good at any of this, huh? That's so many 1s, holy fuck. Piece by piece, the picture starts to take shape, not just of an attack, but of a rapid retreat. Story the debris tells is clear. Asteroid cave, possible retreat. Forget the trail. If the caves are searched comprehensively, then anyone in here will be found. Caves are dark and winding, but with a sharp eye, it's possible to spot a glinting shard of debris. The trail must lead somewhere. The trail leads to these barren and airless caves. Hard to imagine someone surviving long. A bit of luck and some careful exploration, good progress. They're close. Slowly, debris leads into the caves. It's a spotty trail. It's hard to follow. The trail leads round in circles. No progress is made in the dark of the caves. Caves seem impossibly large and winding, looping, long, frustrating boggling. Alright, well. Sure as shit isn't gonna be here. These 1s. Oh, maybe I need to spend. Shit.
Lucky.
Okay. I've got here. The structure of the caves is becoming more obvious, as are the smaller passages that might have made the perfect safe haven. There's a light in the dark, flickering and fading. When the starboard trail led to the caves, a little hope was kindled in the hearts of the crew, but after plumbing the depths of the dark passages, that hope seemed snuffed out. Xander has struggled on in silence, only speaking to update Candace on the lack of news via the cockpit comlinks. But he speaks now, quietly at first, and then with increasing urgency. A light, sleeper. I see a light. And with that, he kicks off hard from the wall and darts down a dark tunnel with reckless speed. You follow, but the tunnels are winding, and you quickly lose Xander around a corner. You kick off from the same wall, trying to close the gap, but when you come around that same corner, you can't find Xander anywhere. And then you see it, through a thin slit in the cave wall, flickering, fading light. Cross over to it and see scratches and chunks scraped out from the rock. Someone has dragged something through here. You push away from some of the floating rock and squeeze yourself into the gap. As you do, you watch the light pulsing inside the cave, setting the cracks and shapes of the rock in sharp relief. You search those shadows for something recognizable, but the light source remains out of sight. Then you are through. You steady yourself against the wall and look towards the light. There, beside a facing emergency lamp, floats a body, its head instantly striking you, strange and misshapen. You know immediately that this must be Carmen. His head is shrouded in an emergency helmet inflated around him like a balloon, while an oxygen canister floats nearby, attached by a tube. His eyes are closed, his body still. You try to settle your gaze on his chest, see the telltale rise and fall. And then the light catches something else, something broken, skeletal nearby, a face with bright eyes watching you. A sleeper. Another sleeper. They watch you with lit irises, one's just like yours. Their torn face reveals no emotion. They pose, crouched, coiled even, like a spring ready to strike. You are both frozen, unsure, afraid. Nothing moves. Your eyes trace the damage to their suit, their body. They look broken, worn down. You wonder if this is how you look to others. They flinch, see you, to feel the need to now. Carmen! Xander's panicked voice cuts through the silence. He rushes forward to the floating body, and as he does, the other sleeper pulls away from the wall like a statue coming to life. For a moment, you go to intervene to save Xander from this skeletal figure, but the sleeper falls on Xander to embrace him. Xander returns the hug. You float, stunned, watching as Xander begins to carry Carmen's body from the cave with Flint, the sleeper, guiding him. Carmen is stable. Candace comes out from the room that has become a makeshift medbay. She looks between you and Seraphim. Thanks to you. Flint. Cadence pauses, choosing her answer carefully. Flint is in there with Carmen. They seem to be functional. She looks away. If that's what you mean? We should head back to Oliveira. Seraphim cuts in. He places a hand on your shoulder and steers you away towards the cockpit. Once you are out of earshot, Seraphim turns to you. Did you know Flint was a sleeper? No. Seraphim nods. He pauses. He's suspicious. He's just surprised, that's all. Seraphim glances back towards the medbay. Look different. What do you mean? I don't know. He sighs. Just something I wish they'd mention. I'll go get her started up. He pats you on the shoulder and heads to the cockpit. Let's just keep an eye on her, okay? He leaves you floating in the corridor, unsure what to think. Flint is the first sleeper you have met since you escaped the program. At this point, those memories are little more than fragments of fiction. As the rumble of the drive runs through the ship, you can't help but feel a little concerned for what this might mean. Trasher Quackbox is not following. Thank you for the follow, Trasher. I very much appreciate it. Trasher, Quack, and or Box, whichever you prefer. I don't think we have anything else to do. Let's head back to Olivera. You are left alone with Xander and... I don't think my permanent glitch actually got healed. I'm deeply confused with how the glitch functions. You are left alone with Xander and Seraphin in the docks while Carmen is carefully carried from the rig by Flint, guided away into one of Olivera's many tunnels and passages. You can call me Trash. Sounds good. Okay. I believe you. Xander shrugs his shoulders. Seraphin raises an eyebrow. Leave us how? Dad, you aren't saboteurs. He shoots you a sheepish grin. Although, you never know. Stay silent. Tell me, kid. Seraphin folds his arms. Why are you so protective of this place? I mean, no offense, but we don't want to sabotage a tin pot colony in the middle of the shoals. Xander bristles at the comment, but controls... Oh, Jesus! Scoop! Scoop, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. I saw just all these colors explode on the thing. But, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate starting a hype train. I appreciate giving out subs to folks and stuff like that. If you got a sub, welcome in. And thank you. Please enjoy your little moth sub badge. And I don't know what else I give because I think all of my emotes are free to followers because I haven't gotten any good new ones. I really need to find somebody to commission for something like this one. But yeah, Scoop, thank you so much. Xander bristles at the comment, but controls his anger. You don't get it. Olivera is a refuge. Why do you think we're hiding all the way out here? He glances at you and then back at Seraphin. I would have thought you'd understand what's at stake here. You've seen Flint. Seraphin pauses, unsure of how to respond. He looks embarrassed into silence. Look, Xander says, playing the peacemaker. You brought Carmen back to us. Everyone in Olivera will thank you for that. How about you stick around for a bit, get a feel for the place? If you need to resupply, we can help. We haven't got much, but if you chip in, you'll get your share. He bows his head a little. We're more welcoming than we appear. Just don't expect to buy anything with those chits of yours. Xander puts his hands on his hips. Olivera is not for sale. Seraphin shrugs. All right, kid. He glances at you. Shit. Need to hang around until Carmen is back and awake anyway. I think we'll be glad of the rest. I'll see you around then. Xander touches his brow in a salute and kicks away, floating out of the docks. Seraphin turns to you. Well, surely it doesn't sound so bad. To speak to Carmen. For sure. He stretches. Carmen isn't going anywhere. Got time. He winks and glides away into Olivera proper. You are left floating in the docks, unsure of what comes next. It doesn't seem like Lane is going to find you out here, so maybe this is the perfect time to take a breather, at least until you can bring on Kita's drive to Carmen. You turn that little thumbnail drive over in your pocket. Time to see what Olivera has to offer. Carmen is in recovery, and Olivera will have to navigate a coming crisis without his steady hand. As you leave the rig, you find a figure waiting for you in the docking tunnel. You think of Xander's hostile greeting when you first arrived. Is that him again? Where are you headed? Flint leans away from the wall now, out of the battered suit you first saw them in. The damage to their frame is concealed beneath their overalls, but you're still aware of it, just beneath the surface. Scraps.
Same.
Flint nods in the direction of the colony.
I'll join you.
You float together through the docks in silence. Flint makes you nervous, and their insistence on intercepting you this cycle hasn't exactly calmed that sensation. Breaking the silence eventually becomes unavoidable. Why Flint? Flint stares ahead, continuing their glide.
Ask Carmen. He insisted on it.
Mention of Carmen's name recalls the image of him floating unconscious in the light of your work lamps in those deep and winding caves. Suppress a shudder. Flint gives you a sideways look, their mask-like face betraying no emotion.
It's good you found us.
They pause as you both move through a doorway.
Could have been sooner.
They blink,
but better than nothing.
Looking at Flint gives you an unsettling feeling, like catching your own reflection in a polished hull plate. Is this what others feel like when they speak with you? Watching the crooked mask, the lit irises, or signs of human emotion? Interpreting the stuttering emulations of facial expressions as they cross your doll-like face?
Yeah, we were you there when we found the fucked up ship that got shot to pieces when we were trying to track down Carmen? Oh wow, Scoop, I just got an incredible email from this that I have to share. Your hype train gave me something very fitting because it feels very in line with your vibes. But we found Carmen floating inside a asteroid tunnel, and this sleeper was turbo fucked up trying to keep them alive. And we just made it back with both of them still alive. And this guy's just shown up out of nowhere and is being what's the word? Kind of aggro. He's very abrasive. They're very abrasive. My bad. Yeah, Flint is still turbo fucked up. They're missing a fucking arm. Like, they are not doing well. But they're looking better than they were when half their face was gone and we could see their full skull.
Flint turns away, and you realize that they might feel the same looking at you. Each the other's mirror, each reminding the other of the gap between being and being seen. What happened out there? Flint pauses.
You made a mistake. One I won't make again.
They frown and stare forward, offering nothing more. You arrive together in the cavernous hall containing the scrap silos, the cacophonous echoing of sorting already filling the air.
So, sleeper.
Flint's face curls in amusement as he uses the mononym everyone refers to you by.
Oliveira asked all of those it harbors to contribute to the colony. Show me what you do.
You and Flint glide into the sorting bay, where scrap from the silos is delivered to the waiting workers, ready to be checked, cleaned, and cast into the different nets at the fringes of space. You find a sorting station and begin picking up chunks of ship and machine, turning them over in your hands. As you inspect the scrap, the ghost of their original place in a bigger structure becomes apparent. Each piece suggests a hole, a drive casing, a loading bay, a life support unit. You burn away corrosion with a torch, crack open rusted casings to reveal the components inside like seeds. You find a new life in the broken and discarded pieces. Something makes you look to one side, a glint that catches your eye, and there is Flint, taking a rest of their own. You see a glint again, Flint turning something over with their fingers, watching it spin. Pile of stabilizer.
My last vial.
Flint speaks without taking their eyes off the drug. Even through the haze of your lost memories, you can recall the fizzing, sickening pulse of that injection. The dependence your reboot freed you.
Saving it
for a special occasion. Flint pockets the vial and meets your eye. You don't need stabilizer, do you? Flint moves away from the wall they were resting against. I noticed you were different from the first moment. I didn't realize what it was until now. The way you work, the way you move, without dependence. I see it now. Flint folds their arms. Tell them about the reboot. You tell them about the process you and Seraphim attempted on the dark side, the one that Lane interrupted. They listen absent-mindedly, watching the workers instead of you. That's not all, though, is it? Flint meets your eye. There's something wrong with you. More than just your decaying frame. Your signal. Your presence. It smells different. It just dawned on me. Yeah, they definitely traded out that for a whole bunch of other problems that I have. But yeah, it's nice not to have to worry about that clock on top of everything else too. Lane did something. I have come to know that feeling. The feeling that I am an object, a tool to be molded, to be shaped for someone else's use. Here in Oliveira, people are different. Flint looks out at the workers, but I still know who I am, what I bring to this place. All of these people are at risk because of me. That means you too are a risk to your crew, to me, more importantly to this place. That is what is worrying me. Oliveira will welcome you, just as it welcomed me. Flint stretches, and it will do so in spite of itself and its own safety. I want you to know that, because they will pay the cost, those close to you. You must know that they pay it for you. With that, Flint turns and glides away, leaving no space for a response. You watch them leave, their billowing cloak revealing and concealing the glinting and ragged parts of their exposed skeletons. Oh. Fuck! That's rough, buddy. Time to process some scrap. Cracking open some kind of ventilation unit, you find some components that have yet to corrode completely. The Oliveira scrappers are happy for you to search the scrap silos for components for your own use, but they won't be so easy to find. I like Flint a lot. I think they're really interesting. Their sort of bitter nihilism for all of this is an interesting perspective that you don't get from an otherwise largely, I think, optimistic game in some ways. But I like Flint being the realist in a floating station of idealistic communists, basically. I like Flint a lot. Right now, though, we don't really have stuff. The sound of raised voices echoes through the tunnel. Following them, you find yourself at the entrance to the clinic, where Flint and Xander are locked in a bitter argument. I won't take you out there, Flint. Xander is pleading with the sleeper. Look what happened to Carmen. They'll kill you. What happened to Carmen is exactly why I have to go. They will find me here. When that happens, the whole colony can hear you too. Seraphim comes out of the clinic with Cadence. You trying to wake up Carmen? You see Seraphim clock you, standing in the passageway. Your eyes meet and Seraphim looks away. Neither of you have seen each other since you brought Carmen back to Oliveira. I'm trying to make sure what happens to Carmen doesn't happen to anyone else. Flint folds their arms. I'm the reason he is like he is. That means it's on me to fix it.
Oh shit, did they get attacked by, shit, what was the name of the company that makes sleepers? Ah, damn, I'm blanking on it. Oh well. SNARP. I'm wondering if they got attacked by an SNARP reclaiming unit. Yeah. You catch Flint off guard. They hadn't seen you waiting in the passageways. SNARP came for me. That's what happened out in the debris field. They look down. You know what that means. SNARP, the company that created you, the company that you escaped. The idea of them bearing down on this place sets your nerves on edge. You have long since slipped their grasp. Lane disabled your tracker in exchange for unwavering service, a gift that became a trap. Solheim was the one that set up like all of the infrastructure in this belt, and then they like went bankrupt and collapsed. They're responsible for most of the stations. SNARP is responsible for the sleepers specifically. And then there's a new one called Senate Stat, which I don't remember from Citizen Sleeper 1, who is currently at war with Conway, who were kind of the scumbag corporation that was trying to pick up after Solheim. That seems to be kind of the geopolitical state of the place. I don't know what the deal with SNARP is. Presumably they're still just functioning as normal. But Flint is still on the run, and if SNARP attacked Carmen's ship, they can't be far away. You look at Flint and see the fear in their eyes. Tracker is still active. Oliveira is shrouded. Flint looks towards the center of the colony. Carmen managed to get a hold of a signal shroud and set it up here. He wanted to keep everyone safe. There's no way SNARP can track me here. Am I missing something? Seraphin interrupts. If they can't find you here, what's the problem? It's not just about the tracker. That hunter found me in the debris field. They know I escaped. It's only a matter of time before their search brings them here. Silence falls on the group. The inevitability of the problem sets in. Xander looks distraught. You can't, Flint, Xander says in a quiet voice. They'll kill you. Seraphin glances at you and Flint in turn, and you see his mind working on a solution. He looks away, frowning. I'm sorry, Xander. This is how it is. Flint looks dejected. So we get them first. Seraphin smiles, an impish smile. Seraphin. Seraphin! Seraphin! Zoe! Yikes, Scoop! Seraphin, what are you thinking? Candace speaks up for the first time. We know there's a hunter out there working with shoals. We know that they're looking for you. Seraphin shrugs. That means we have the upper hand. We don't need to bring them here. We can bring them anywhere we want. Seraphin looks around the group. So, said, prepare a little surprise. And wait. Flint is already shaking their head. The hunter could arrive here at any moment. We don't have time for this. If I had a ship, I would have left already. Then we move you now. We take you somewhere we can prepare. Work hard and fast. Get an ambush set. Hunter comes. Seraphin grins. Spring the trap. It's a good plan. Seraphin smiles. See? You might not trust me, Flint. Or Sleeper. Flint doesn't respond immediately. You can see them thinking it through, considering their options. I'm coming. Xander has a determined look on his face. We're doing this, and I'm coming. Look, kid, I appreciate your enthusiasm. This is the real thing. A bounty hunter is not gonna... Stop patronizing me! Xander cuts him off. I know the shoals. You need me out there. The conversation suddenly devolves into many small arguments. The location, who should go, how to approach the ambush.
The noise grows.
The old Solheim manufactory.
Cadence's voice rises, clear and precise through the noise.
That's where you do it. It's on a rock, far enough from here, and it's a real labyrinth. You can lead the hunter there and get them lost inside.
Cadence's eyes are bright and determined.
The place is full of old machines, ordnance. We've been afraid to scavenge any of it. It's so unstable.
You notice Seraphim watching Cadence speak, clearly impressed by this sudden shift towards decisive action.
We could bring the whole place down on their heads.
Xander picks up Cadence's thread.
I know the manufactory. It's a good idea.
You look between those gathered. Seraphim, stubborn and protective. Candace's sharp eyes. Xander's relentless desire to get involved. Flint, a sleeper like you. A sleeper in need of an escape. Carmen was building something. A shrouded haven. A place that needs protecting. He may be unconscious behind those doors, floating amongst the wires and tubes of the clinic. But something of him is here, in this group, making a plan of resistance. Flint's eyes meet yours. You know what has to be done. The rig will leave Olivera this cycle. You have a hunter to trap.
Yeah, we do.
Candace believes this is the place to trap Flint's pursuer. You'll only have a few cycles to prepare, so the faster you head out, the better.
Okay. Adapt. Unfortunately, I'm a better engineer than Bliss ever could be, so it's hard to justify bringing them.
Corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. The manufactory makes for a familiar sight, just one more ragged artifact from the corporation that once owned the system. Despite that, something about it sets you on edge. Perhaps because it also will form the crucible for your attempt to take on an SNRP hunter, the kind whose entire job is to bring in escaped sleepers like you, dead or alive. The rig is tucked behind a rock, running on low power with its transponder off. You hope that's enough not to draw attention. So, talk us through it. Seraphim turns back to Flint, Candace, and Xander, all of whom are crammed into the cockpit along with your crew.
We have to make this place look like a colony. That is what the hunter will expect.
Candace suggests first, her voice quavering a little with anxiety.
We can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up.
Okay. Seraphim nods reassuringly. It's good. But then,
we force them to go deep.
Xander cuts in. Everyone looks at him. He pauses, a little intimidated by the intention, but Flint nods at him to continue.
I've been out here before on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through the whole place, filled with old manufacturing machines. We seal the door, activate machines, and make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends.
All right. Control their route. I like it. Seraphim smiles at Xander. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job before us.
I doubt it. Flint joins in. We'll need ordnance from the silos, mining charges, fuel, whatever is left from when this place was churning out Solheim goods. They furrow their brow. We blow the place to make sure.
A silence passes through the cockpit. The danger of what you are about to attempt dawning on everyone present. Okay. Seraphim has a dark look. That's the plan. We can detonate the ordnance with a command from the room. A simple wideband comm signal. We'll get them. Seraphim pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, that hunter isn't coming back out. And he turns to you. Anything we missed? What if they don't take the bait?
Then I engage. Flint rubs their hands together nervously. I lead them in directly. Right?
Right.
Seraphim confirms grimly.
How long do we think we have? There's a lot of factory down there.
The hunter got to me and Carmen fast. Flint looks out of the cockpit. No more than 3 cycles. When the hunter came for us,
Flint grimaces, remembering the attack on Carmen's ship. Came out of nowhere. Hit us hard and fast. It wasn't for Carmen. We need to be ready for anything. Flint looks at you. There won't be a warning. Seraphim sighs. Nice pep talk. Flint, you better find somewhere deep in that place, down in the bedrock. But make sure it has a back door, okay? He nods at the sleeper. The rest of us will get to work. All right, you heard Flint. We do this, and we do it right. We make our stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more.
And I think next time is when we will bring the trap. But I think that's going to wrap it for today. We usually go 3 to 5 about that time. Once again, Pebble, if you're still hanging around, or any of Pebble's viewers, thank you all for coming in. I hope you had a good time listening in. Scoop, thank you so much for the hype train earlier. I appreciate it. And for everybody else who's here, thank you just for coming out and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Lurkers, talkers, anybody who's here, makes it a great time for me, and I appreciate everybody coming by. So, thank you all, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. Good night. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.